Um, as we were talking, he made it to Olympic trials in his senior year of college. What was it like? First off, when did you make the standard, and what is the standard for those who don't know what it is for the 800?
I want to clarify some things. So, for one, I actually didn't hit the standard. So, the
Oh,
standard in the 800 is a 145.2. For they get the Olympic standard, to be able to go on to the Olympics, and then for the Olympic trial standard is a 146.0, I believe. And so, but there's a rule though. So let's say that the Olympic trials committee doesn't have enough athletes in an event, and then the event committee people can look at the event and be like, okay, let's add in some extra people to be able to fill out the entire event number that they can hold to see if they could be able to pop something off over at the Olympic trials. And so usually in the 800, there's 32 athletes that are allowed to be in the 800 at the Olympic trials. And so I think only like maybe 16 the actual Olympic trial standard. And so because of that, I was like that 20th athlete on the list. And luckily enough, the Olympic event committee was able to get me into the meet, and I was super grateful for them. And so the actual meet itself, though, man, it was it was one heck of an experience. Like you go over there, the whole process of getting like your lanyard and then getting your bib and getting your credentials, like that whole experience itself was just like mind-boggling to me. Be able to see all the different athletes out there, the ones you see on TV too, like the Ryan Krauses of the world, like the Cindy McLaughlin's, Dalil Muhammad, Grant Holloway, Fred Curley. I was like right next to Fred Curley when he was getting ready for the Olympic trials. Like I was just seeing him train, and it just like it was a crazy experience. Like I really enjoyed every second of it. And then yeah, so my heat of the 800, I had Clayton Murphy, which those of you who don't know, he's an Olympic bronze medalist in the 2016 Olympics. So it was cool to be able to have him in the heat. And I didn't know, like, he was a real talkative person, honestly. Like, he was talking to a lot of people over there. He even talked to me. I was like, dang, this guy really talking to me? Like, I'm kind of a nobody in this situation, but it was pretty cool for him to be able to talk to me and whatnot. And so, yeah, my whole experience as a whole, it was really great. Like, the town was involved. Everybody was really, like, knowledgeable on track too in the city. Like they had streets blocked off all around the stadium. They had food trucks. They had windows painted. Like it was a whole big experience. So I really enjoyed my time over there in Eugene, Oregon.
oh yeah, and you got to run in the brand new track too, which was so cool. When it was, I remember back then they were like, "Oh, this is like the renderings of the track." I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then when it actually comes to life, it's just like mind-boggling. It's like very similar to like an actual like football stadium. So it's just so cool that the track world got that recognition from that new stadium.
Nah, yeah. Like literally, when you walk in there, my first reaction was just wow. Like like I'm first of all, I'm really here. That's number one. And
Yeah.
number two, it's like they really built this like at tracks. They like only for track. Like there's no soccer games happening. I mean, I don't know, maybe because that's soccer game, but no, the way the facility laid out, you ain't having no soccer games there. Like this is strictly for track. There's no football, no nothing. Like this is strictly for track. So it was crazy to see. And I know Phil Knight, the old Nike CEO, was like he wanted a European style stadium to go into the U.S. And so hey, he did that. Like that stadium's huge, it's big. The little details too that you see on the stadium. So like for example, like now it's kind of weird, but like when you walk into the bathroom, they have all the medals from the Rio Olympic Games in the bathroom, like on the
Oh
floor.
wow.
And
Oh.
yeah, like the gold, the silver, the bronze, like they have all that in there. And obviously, University of Oregon is rich when it comes to track and field, and so they really like to dedicate the athletes who've done really well at the program. So you can see them all throughout the stadium. I'm talking about the Jenna Prandini, Edward Cheserek, who else we got? Raven Rogers. Those are more the recent ones. I
Mhm.
gotta do some more study on the ones from the past, but I mean, there's tons of athletes that came through the University of Oregon, and they did a really good job. I feel like trying highlighting them and putting them into the stadium as well.
Oh yeah, people forget like Nike was founded in Oregon, and the greats such as Steve Prefontaine were the kind of like not the co-founder, but kind of the first ambassadors of Nike. And then it just goes down the line. You get Matthew Centrowitz Sr. that was at Oregon, and then the other Centrowitz, Junior, he comes in. It just goes all the way. Like Galen Rupp, it
Galen
never
Rupp.
stops. It's just it's kind of like think of it for those of you not familiar with this. Think of it as like Clemson and Alabama, and that is the track world in college track running is you go to Oregon and you're going to get recognized.
Yeah, no, it's truly incredible. And like, I guess to go more into like the stadium too. So actually, underneath like the stands, right? They have a whole, I think it's 140 meters long straightaway underneath the track. So like, when you go
Oh,
in, they call your event up. You sit outside in this tent, and they take you underneath the stadium where like there's a 140 meter, 150 meter like long straightaway where you can do your warm up at before you even get onto the actual track and be able to do your race. So that was really cool because you're able, if it's like, let's say it's rainy and all this other stuff that's happening outside, you at least have that indoor period where you can kind of warm up, get ready, and then you go on to the track. As well, they have a full shot put area, full pulver runway, and underneath the stadium too. Like they really, man, the architects, like clap to them, man, because they really did a really great job of putting everything together for that stadium and all the different designs and all the different structures that are involved. Like it's really cool. Like they did a good job with it.
oh yeah. I'm sure the return on that stadium is going to pay off, and for sure. So you get to meet Clayton Murphy, and it's so cool to see that he's actually a real talkative guy because he grew out throughout the years. When I saw him at Rio, he's still kind of a kid at the time. He was 21, straight out of college. I think he was 21, 22. Then I got to see him perform at the Olympics this month, and he does seem actually kind of talk real confident now that he has a medal in his house. And I'm glad to see that he didn't let it get to him, and he's still a pretty cool dude to hang out with. Did you outside of the Olympic trials, when you're at Iowa State, or any meet outside of college, did you get to meet any other runners? I know you probably ran into Bryce Hopewell a couple times when he was at Kansas.
hmm So yeah, no, me and Bryce Hopper, I love talking to the guy. I talk to him at the Olympic trials. Sometimes I kind of talk to him on social media, and because he's real humble. Like he's not a guy who's gonna brag about, oh yeah, I did this, I did that. Like he's not the type of guy. He's real humble, real cool kid. Like, yeah, he just like he would be a great friend. Like honestly, just because like the way he carries himself, like he's real humble and everything. And so I guess other people like professional wise, I kind of talk to outside like I guess, attract me. One was like Donavan Brazier. I was able to get a picture with him. I ran against him over at ASU,
I
and
saw
we
that
ran a
meet.
144. Yeah, he kicked my butt in that meet, but hey, that's what happens when you're like a
You
freshman coming
PR'd
out.
that meet. You PR'd
Yeah, I
that meet.
PR'd. That was my
There you
first
go.
time running 150 and 800. So yeah, no, that was dope because I was just like I seen the guy literally last year run a 143 break the collegiate record, which was held for I think it was 25 years, something like that. It was one of the longer records in the record book, and then he just smashed it like it was nothing. And then yeah, when I seen him the next year with his whole brand new Nike kit, I was like, oh man, I gotta go get this guy. So I was able to talk to him afterwards and get a pic with him too. So that was pretty cool because they could really just deny that. And you'd be like, nah, no pictures, no pictures. Like I just got done racing, like, but
Mhm.
nah, he was really cool to be able to talk to afterwards. And then Marco Arup, I used to talk to him all the time over at track meets and at the track meet. So I think he's a really cool guy, kind of guy too. Just real talkative, real cool. Like as I said, he's kind of like that Bryce Hopper, that humbleness. Like he doesn't talk a whole lot. Like he lets his legs do the talking. I really respect those guys because we got a lot of guys who like to talk all the time, but then they're not able to back it up. Like, oh, I could easily beat this guy, on the
Mhm.
track. It's super easy. And it's like, all right, buddy, go on the track and do it. And they go on the track and either get last place or they don't do as well as they should. So it's just like, be able to see those guys who are kind of humble, keep the head down, they just grind, and go out there and race to the best of their ability. I like those type of guys. And Bryce Hopper, Marco Arup, those guys represent that. And you see all the hard work they put in, and look what they're doing now with Adidas, and they're making world championship finals and making Olympics. So